Last month I had the blessing and the privilege of joining brothers from a couple other abolitionist societies out in Aurora, Illinois to join the Abolitionist Society of Aurora for a weekend-long event that we were holding of a little bit of agitation, some sidewalk counseling, and a lot of fellowship time. When we were at the Planned Parenthood there, we had an interesting interaction with a very friendly police officer. He came up just actually to warn us, because he didn't recognize most of us, about some of the laws and regulations that are going on and the problems. And right off the bat when he comes out, he spots Tim Locklear, and he's like, "You're that guy from all those videos, right?" And so this officer had actually done some research on us, and I'm assuming because he's talked to our brother Troy a few times that maybe he's been on the website and things. But so he recognized us, and he's joking around with us throughout the time that he was kind of instructing us. And something that he said caught my mind, caught my attention, actually. And he says, most of these guys, and he points over towards, the Roman Catholics praying their rosaries and the pro-lifers kind of doing their, "Ma'am, can we please help you?" type routine. And he says, these guys probably think that you guys are extremists or something along those lines. And of course we laughed, and it's like, well, that's because we are. At another point, I believe actually previous to that, a video at that same clinic of a man named Eric Scheidler. He's one of the leaders of the Pro-Life Action League out in Aurora, Illinois. He actually approaches Troy, the director of the Abolitionist Society of Aurora, because, well, we believe in actually being there on the front lines of the final lines, if that makes sense. And so when we're out in Aurora, we're standing in the street, literally in the middle of the street, right at the front entrance to the parking lot, because we're there to talk to people. We're not there to, whisper and try and wave a flyer and say, can I give you some information? We have help around the corner. We're there to preach the gospel, and we're there to confront people in their murderous intentions. And so Eric is telling him that he should really go over into the grass over there on the other side of the street where he doesn't have access to people, because coming up here and standing here and making all this noise, it's going to make Planned Parenthood think we're stepping up our game and being confrontational with them. And he doesn't want that. See, the thing is that all across Facebook and Twitter, on YouTube, MSNBC even called the abolitionists in Norman, Oklahoma, the radicals and the extremists of the pro-life movement. The world recognizes this idea, and for most people, especially traditional pro-lifers, they're actually going to use this as some type of attack. They're going to use this as some type of ad hominem to us. Guess what? I'm an extremist. Chances are, if you're watching this video, you're an extremist too. It's extreme that when I'm standing outside of a clinic on the other side of a brick wall, within 100 feet of me, children are having their arms and legs ripped off of their bodies. It's extreme that the church sits silently by doing nothing while this happens. It is extreme that the pro-life movement, people who have been saying for 40-something years, I believe 42 years now, they've been saying, we're the ones who are saving the world. Eric Scheidler himself sent out a whole email that I've talked about in videos already, saying how they're the pro-life warriors and we're just these weird outskirts pseudo guys that show up and annoy them. Yes, I am an extremist. I find it extreme that people like you, Eric Scheidler, people like the pro-life superheroes, the pro-life workers down on the street, are offended that I'm going to yell outside of an abortion clinic because I'm going to make sure that the gospel and the truth that they're on their way to murder their children is heard. It's insane to me that Christians think that we're extreme. It's an extreme thought to me that they're silent. And so I get a little bit extreme and I stand outside of a church or I go talk to Christians and I say, yo, Listen to the Bible. Listen to the Word of God. It says to defend those who are defenseless. It says to rescue those who are being led to the slaughter. It says this is pure and undefiled religion, to protect orphans and widows. Jesus rebuked the people like you who think that showing up for church on a Sunday morning, that's your good Christian deeds. And he said, no, you neglect love, justice, and mercy. Justice, love, mercy. These are what you should be doing without neglecting the others. I guess that makes me an extremist, and I'm okay with that. But people are going to come to you and they're going to confront you and they're going to say that you're an extremist. And sometimes our natural tendency, because our nature doesn't want to be seen as extreme, we want to fit in. It's natural for us to want to swim with the current. It's natural for us to want to go with the grain. I mean, don't rock the boat. These are all things that we've been being taught since we were little children, especially those of us who were put through public schooling or Catholic schooling or even some Christian schools. We've been taught, and it's been ingrained into us that we don't want to rock the boat. When people confront me that I'm an extremist, I say yes. I am radical. I am fanatical. I'm an extremist. Be proud of that. Hold your head up high when you say, yes, I am fanatical about ending the murder of 3,500 innocent children every single day. Yes, I am radical about that. Yes, I will go to the extremes in order to prevent it. I will put myself at risk for ridicule and persecution in order to prevent it. But don't hide from it. I know that it's your nature, and I know that it's your first gut reaction that you want to hide from those things, and I don't blame you for it. But don't fall into that trap. You are a radical. You are fanatical. You are extreme. And God help me, most of the time, we aren't being radical enough. We are not fanatical enough, and in fact fall into our own apathy. So tell people, no, I'm not really actually as extreme as you think I am, because I should be more. No, you call me a radical, but actually when I'm in my prayer closet and I'm talking to God, I feel convicted because I'm not doing enough. No, I'm not really a fanatic. I only give a few hours a week of my life to doing this. If I was truly a fanatic, it would be my life. And it grieves me sometimes that it's not. Just never be ashamed of the fact that you are fanatical. I'll end with a quote from somebody that I don't remember who wrote it, but it's one of my favorite things to see on Facebook. And the question is, you take this Jesus thing so seriously? He died for me. He took me pretty serious. He died for the innocent children that are dying, so we do take his sacrifice pretty serious, and we take the truth that the men and women walking in there are going to burn in hell pretty serious, and we take the reality that people are dying in our cities every single day, and it's socially acceptable and encouraged and immoralized. We take that pretty seriously.